A crossing of the Australian continent from east to west, following along the Tropic of Capricorn, had been an idea of Anne's for some time. She felt that it would be an interesting trip, as it would take him many places either that we had not been to or we had not spent time in. Now the time was right, so we left the cold and miserable Melbourne winter and headed north for Queensland and the city of Rockhampton. From the boardwalk at the top of Mount Archer, there are great views overlooking Rockhampton and the Fitzroy River. Rockhampton is one of Queensland's largest cities, with a population of around 84,000. Traditionally known as the beef capital of Australia, tourism is increasingly playing a role in its economic development. Our main interest in Rockhampton was the fact that it sat on the Tropic of Capricorn and was located near the east coast, making it the perfect place to start our Across Capricorn adventure. The only beach right on the coast that claimed to be near the latitude 23 degrees south was at Keppel Sands. Here we could dip in a toe, or in this case a finger or two, in the waters of the South Pacific Ocean. We were not tempted to go for a swim. We allowed ourselves a few days in Rockhampton to have a look around. The weather was fine, so we booked a ferry trip out to Great Kepple Island, where we spent a most enjoyable day. The trip across from Roslyn Bay Boat Harbour takes approximately 30 minutes. Once at the island, we landed directly onto the beach. There is plenty of food and drinks available to build up your energy levels, because on the island, the more you want to see, the more you have to walk. There are walking tracks over and around the island, some offering views of the surrounding waters and islands. After the early European settlers removed most of the indigenous population, the island was used to farm sheep. In the early 1900s, Michael and Lizzie O'Neill took over the grazing lease and built a new homestead. After losing a couple of husbands, Lizzie ran the sheep station by herself until the early 1940s. The homestead, now known as Leakes Homestead, is listed on the Queensland Heritage Register. The sheep are now gone, with just a few goats grazing the old sheep run. After all the uphill and down dale, it was good to get back onto the level surface of the beach. And what a beach it was too. We were both keen to start heading west, but first we decided to step back in time at the Rockhampton Heritage Village. This township museum, set on 11.4 hectares, showcases the history of the early settlement in the Rockhampton district from 1850 to 1950. There are approximately 40 buildings on the site. The Kelper Schoolhouse was built in 1918 and throughout its time operated as a one-teacher school. The hospital collection, housed in the old Mount Morgan Hospital matron and sisters' quarters, covers 150 years of health services, some of which are best left in the past. Before the vaccines were developed to combat the highly infectious disease polio, the iron lung was the only treatment option for some of the more serious symptoms. The car maker, William Morris, later to become known as Lord Nuffield, built and donated 5,000 iron lungs. The replica North Rockhampton fire station houses some beautifully restored fire engines and an extensive range of firefighting equipment. There are many more shops and businesses, as well as collections of dolls, clocks, steam, printing machines, vintage cars and motorbikes, and much more. On our first day out of Rockhampton, we headed west on the Capricorn Highway, destination the Gemfields around the town of Emerald. But first we stopped at Mount Hay, only 38 kilometres from Rockhampton. The Mount Hay area is well known for fossicking gemstones known as thunder eggs, and we thought that we might discover what thunder eggs were at the Mount Hay Gemstone Tourist Park. First, Don told us what thunder eggs were and how they were formed.
Thunder eggs are here as a result of volcanic activity. See, Mount Hay, the mountain behind us here, that's the ancient remains of the volcano, about 120 million years ago when it was active. So we're actually situated on the remnant of the lava flow from that, and that type of lava is called rhyolite. Rhyolite, it was like a super hot mud or something like that, and it didn't travel great distance, but when it came from the volcano, because through the eruption, that mud was full of gases and steam and so on, which has virtually frothed it up, you might say, to create these gas bubbles that are then trapped within that lava mass. And so as it's cooling and setting, the bubbles trapped in there, full of gas, which is what we've got here, an example there, the gas is being trapped in that, so that then cooled into rock, that lava flow. Well, in the process of cooling, fine cracks develop, so the gases trapped in there then were able to dissipate out, and at some point following, silica-rich water has travelled down through those cracks. So you can see now in the lava here where these bubbles, for a better term, call them bubbles, the thunder eggs, the bubbles have then been filled. Well, that's simply the minerals that were in that water then crystallising as the water dehydrates away, and so eventually we end up with what we call quartz, or agate, or jasper. You can get other quartz minerals besides in various forms, but that's the basic structures that we usually get here. This is the sort of thing you're looking for as a thunder egg in the dirt. It's a bubble, so you're looking for that bubble shaped rock. The only thing is it's not all nice and washed clean like these are. You've got to search for them, and in the dirt, well, then you've got to do a bit of washing and get the dirt off, checking that you've got that bubble feature. If you think you've got something, just wash it. Washing, as I was saying.
Armed with a pick, a bucket of water and a scrubbing brush, we went out into the yard and selected a pile of dirt and rocks to fossick through.
And sometimes, you know, there can be one just sitting there, you know. I can see one over there, straight in front of you.
That one?
Come forward, straight ahead, right under the head of the point of the pick. That one right there.
That one.
Yeah, you grab that.
Yeah.
Anything that looks remotely like a potato or a nut, but an unwashed potato. Yeah. If you think you've got something like that, you just wash it. So you just comb out a little bit at a time.
It wasn't long before we had quite a collection of what we hoped were likely eggs, as well as a few pieces of rhyolite larvae.
Oops. Oh yeah. You've got a few little examples there, Dol. Yeah? Yep. That's one. Oh, look at that one. It's got purple in it. Yeah. Now that's it. That's a beautiful one. Wow. Not often you get that colour. That's stunning. Lovely, lovely.
When the stones were cut in half, we were surprised and fascinated with what we had found.
You can see the depth of that. So that's agate as well. Right. Oh, there you go. Another nice one. Very similar to that. Yeah. Okay, and I'll go and wash them for you, hun. So those your rainforest jasper ones, so you can put them in a separate bag of those.
One kneeling bird.
And that one there. It really, really is.
Approximately 200 kilometres west of Rockhampton on the Capricorn Highway is the mining town of Blackwater, known as the coal capital of Queensland. From the highway, the only evidence of the town and mine are the coal trains, which are often more than a kilometre in length. 41 kilometres short of Emerald, we pulled over at the township of Comet. Located within a shelter in the park is a section of the coolabah tree trunk that German explorer and naturalist Ludwig Leichhardt marked with Dig L during his first expedition through central Queensland. Comet was named after the Comet River, which was named by Leichhardt after he observed Comet Wilmot in the western sky, when he camped there in 1844. Emerald is a service town for a large number of industries in the area. The standout building in the main street is the railway station. Built in 1900 in the Federation style of architecture, it is one of a few examples of Queensland stations built in timber using this style. It is also distinguished by the semicircular roof above the entrance. Nearby, outside a civic building, are sections of fossilised tree trunk, believed to be 250 million years old. Fairbairn Dam and Lake Maraboon, approximately 20 kilometres from Emerald, are worth a visit. The lake has a capacity approximately 3 times larger than Sydney Harbour. It is popular with swimming, fishing and water skiing. There is also a nearby caravan park. Rubyvale, about 60 kilometres past Emerald, is where we had booked into a caravan park for the next 2 nights. After dark, the betongs would come out to play. We had enjoyed our fossicking for thunder eggs at Mount Hay, so we thought we would see what Rubyvale had to offer. Well, it wasn't rubies, it was sapphires. The fossicking process was explained and demonstrated to us.
Yes. Big one always on top. Okay. So that sits up there. Yes. Sit it over that bucket there. Yes. Pour a small amount in at a time. Not too much, otherwise you're going to find it too hard to get clean. Okay. So that's about enough. Yes. Okay, you got that? From there you pick them both up together. Yes. You do a shake. Yes. Now to shake it, it's always side to side. Okay. Like so. Now back to the wallaby. So we put them both in together. Yeah. Now we need to wash them, and we wash them till they're clean. So it's in the water. It should take you about an hour. Yes? It's got to go. You try and do it clean, while it's still dirty.
Once clean, the top sieve was removed and the finer material given another wash.
You haven't got the water.
No, that's right.
So you do, but it spills on top. Up. Straight over like a cake.
Wow.
Like a cake, straight up. Yeah. And that's the top one. That's the bottom one.
Right.
The top one back up.
So what's he doing?
It was then just a case of picking out anything that looked a bit gem-like.
So see? Oh, here we go. You've got the sapphire.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
That's a nice one. 3.9 carats. That'll definitely cut you a stone. Not too bad.
We got off to a good start, and yes, morning tea was included. This fossicking could become addictive. Just as well they close at midday.
You've got some lovely colour. Gee, you've done well. You've done so well. You've got no rubbish at all. Oh, that's nice too. Beautiful.
Now we've got a young magpie. I shouldn't have given it to you.
After having lunch with the birds, we visited one of the tourist mines in the area. Their showroom display of sapphires put our humble collection in perspective. The mine tour was interesting, but not near as much fun as fossicking. And they wouldn't let me use my video camera. Look out for our next episode when we follow the tropical Capricorn deeper into central Queensland, visiting Barcaldine and Longreach, and learning of iconic moments in time that helped form our nation.